That's the problem. When you
They call
drink
it
icy
mother's
light,
milk. They call it mother's milk. I mean, so I mean, you have to think from that perspective. There
right?
are some good dudes who drink icy light that know ball,
Yeah.
but for the majority of them, they fall into that category where they allow their emotions to get the best of them, and then they get on this high horse because this one dude didn't make a play this one time, and then they just set him as bust. You know what I mean? It don't matter what he do. Like the new thing right now is James Pierre. I heard somebody say, "Yeah, James Pierre's playing well, but it's James Pierre." What? James Pierre's playing well. The end. You know what I mean? Like, why did it have to be about the narrative, man? It don't got to be about that.
It's always about the narrative, bro.
Always, man. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I got a good one tonight. I've already reviewed this, but I like it. I highly recommend people grabbing some Fiddlehead IPA.
Fiddlehead,
Fiddlehead
yeah.
is quality, man. This is a high eights. I've scored this before, so I'm not going to go into that tonight, but this is a quality one. I definitely recommend keeping this in the man caves at all times.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It's really, 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 really good on tap.
I have not had it on tap, and I'm looking for it. So,
Yeah,
I got to get
Goodfellas
it.
has it all the time.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got anything tonight? Any brews?
Oh yeah. I got the sheets.
The
Uh,
squish.
the sheets gold standard.
Nice. The
The
squish.
pound for pound, the best value beer on the planet, coming in at $14.99 for a 4 pack of 16 ounces, a 4 pack of hazy deliciousness. Right?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think I've actually rated this, but it's going to be high because of the price
Okay.
factor and everything. Like it's
And
and
as
it's
people are, well, real quick, GB, before you give out a score something, as people are
yeah.
filing in, we got some comments coming in. I'll get everybody up here on stage. Keep them coming in, but we'll get to everybody here as we get through the show. But go ahead, GB.
And it's delicious. And it's easily accessible. That
Yeah.
Sheets, the best thing Sheets did, in my opinion, as the uppity Enzer, is they added Cinderlands, Full Squish, and Brew Gentleman, General Braddock's to their cooler. And when they did that, that that immediately sent their beer fridge meter this way. You know what I mean? So, but this one is I am going to rate this high. It's not my favorite beer, but it's definitely the one that I always have stocked for sure.
Yeah.
Always, because it's easily accessible, it's delicious, and
Mm-hmm.
it's right at the perfect it's at that perfect ABV and everything. So, I would give this a James Harrison 92 9.2 because this always I'm telling you, like, this is always. And Jay Brown the chef ain't here, but he can contest. He always has it in his fridge as well. It's always here.
Yep.
Full squish Cinderlands for the win.
Cinderlands. Mr. Wonderful. That's what you should with the Steelers. Woo. You got anything, man? Or you chilling tonight?
I'm chilling tonight, man. My
Listen,
liver needs a break from yesterday.
it was a rough weekend, especially for you, Mr. Wonderful, with the college as well, and for me as well. You had GB. It was like I was talking to Juan. If we went on the air, it was like the old Glass Joe, like just just taking hits with Pitt, FSU, Juan's Michigan Wolverines, the Steelers. It's like holy hell. It was a bad. Acrisure had some stank the whole weekend, man. So that's why I'm busting out the Christmas shirt and I'm asking, are you serious, Clark? This is what we're talking about this week, man. Listen, we're going to get into this, and I'm going to get some of these comments up here because I think these are going to drive some of these conversations here. I want to make a point for everybody to know Tomlin is not above the criticism. He's going to get a lot of criticism, at least from me tonight. I'm sure these fellows are going to have constructive criticism as well. But let's not lose the fact that I think this is something with the organization as a whole, not just one man. But there's a lot to be said, a lot of bad from this team. I want to start off with this. Because when we brought Arthur Smith in here 2 years ago, and again, just picking a place to start. His offense is about running the ball, controlling the clock, play action, getting the tight ends involved, et cetera, et cetera. The time of possession for the year, the Steelers are averaging 27 minutes. The opponents are 33. Yesterday, and by the way, I was at the game. Yesterday, the Bills had the ball for 42 minutes. The Steelers had it for 18 minutes. 74 plays to 43 plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I looked this up because I saw a tweet from Dan Orlovsky, and I had to look this up. I thought he was trolling people. I'll take a drink for this one. For the year, the Pittsburgh Steelers have ran 667 plays. The opponents have ran 820. That is and give you an idea, that's a difference of 153 plays. The defense has played 2 extra games. This is what happened late last year. The attrition gets real. I mean, you cannot have the defense playing 2 extra full games. The Steelers have given up 64 more first downs, 21 more third down conversions, 16 more fourth down conversions, 43.6% third down conversions against this defense, 75%, 21 of 28 on fourth down conversions. I don't know where to start, guys. Again, this is a collective issue, not a one-person issue. You guys want to start somewhere? And I want to get some of these comments up on the screen here. Whether it was with the offense,
Mr.
defense,
Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful, you
Mr.
want to start somewhere?
Yeah. I guess I think I mentioned this probably week 1 or 2. It's funny to me that just looking at this, I'm the time of possession, all that, like that's another. I'm not going to hit that. Where I want to go is expectations. So, end of last year, we were getting ran on up and down the field. Teams were running on us. I already felt like our response to that was in the first round to draft a defensive lineman to stop that, right? First couple games, we didn't have that defensive lineman who we said that this is your job. We brought you in to do this. He's not there. But it seemed the expectation was that we should still perform at the level that, we're that person who we were called in, that brought in. It didn't happen for those 2 games.
For 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. When he came back, we saw a difference, right? Mr. Harmon is out again. This is the best running team in the league, or the top 2, or in the top 2. Did we think that it was going to be that much better? You know what I mean? Like it's again expectation, and then couple that with, like him or not, when Queen gets hurt, was that right before half or right after half? It was right around.
It was right second half, early second half.
Yeah, it was okay. And they're already running pretty good. Like, did we think that okay, well, Holcomb should come in and just fit right? it's like, come on, y'all. Like we got to be logical at times, and you say because there's injuries happen on both sides, and I get that, but at the same time, you don't have the same expectation level. And I think that's
Yeah.
what's causing a lot of people a lot of angst because if you're expecting a certain product now, granted, what we saw yesterday was despicable. The cutback, like it was like that's all they did all game was cut back. They pressed the one side and cut back. It was like how
Joey Porter was
like
Joey Porter was basically playing inside linebacker that first play.
yeah. I mean,
It was terrible.
it's like come on. At some point, like we all know what's happening. Like why can't you stop this? And it was
Yeah, GB, go.
All right.
Juan got some good points, man, but go.
I'm kind of lost for words because I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt going into the season that there was no logical way that the way that the roster was constructed this year versus last year that we would be uh, not improved, right? But actually, regressing. I didn't see this coming, not one bit.
Nope.
I mean, at this time last year we were 9-3, y'all. We're 6-6. Like that's crazy to me. We was 9-3 with Russ and Jay Fields. Like let that one marinate for a second, okay? And we was 9-3 with Dante Jackson at corner. Just let that one marinate for a second. It's that type of stuff that's just amazing to me. Like you could talk about uh, the personnel and things of that nature, but I feel like our personnel was way better this year than it was last year,
Agreed.
and here we are. So I think it's deeper than that. I think it runs deeper than that, and we're gonna get I think the last 5 games will give us a real understanding of what this era, if this could potentially be the end of an era. This last 5 games is going to say a lot. Hopefully it's more than 5.
Well,
Hopefully.
I mean, before again, I mean, I do think 9 wins, the proverbial 9-8 would win this division. But I'd be lying to you if I sat here today and I'm confident that we could get those 9 wins. I'm seeing a repetitive thing with this team as of late. I'm going to use like the last 3 years, but as of late, because again, there's rhymes and reasons on why losses happen here and there. Buffalo said they knew where the defense was going to be. Multiple teams have come back and said they've known what the coverages are. Joe Flacco said he knew the coverages and where the holes were, and they didn't change throughout the game. The first game. Second game, they made the adjustments and they shut them down. There's been too many of those, and there's been too many communication issues. And now you're also starting to have players. Aaron Rodgers calling out the practices have been bad. You got guys coming in missing meetings. I think Austin missed a meeting on the offense. I called it in there when Aaron Rodgers threw that ball in the middle of the end zone. There was nobody there. I turned to my buddy like John, who ran the wrong route. And did you hear his call is in the press conference? John New ran the wrong route. It was a read route. We are now week 11, and we're still having these issues. I don't get this and I'm blaming the offense more than I am the defense, again, because you're playing 2 extra games. Last year in 2024, 3 players, 219 receptions, 2,500 yards, and 20 touchdowns. This year, 101 receptions, 1,093 yards, 11 TDs. You know who that is? DK, Jonnu, and Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth is listed 3rd on the depth chart. I like me some. Listen, I love all 3 tight ends. But when you're missing wide receiver 2 and you're not using 2 of the top 15 receiving tight ends, maybe even top 12 in the NFL in your passing game. What are you doing?
And you know what,
This
Dudek, I
defensive
think that's
or offensive playing call. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that is the biggest exposure of all of this is that, you know, and Jay Brown and myself, you know, we questioned, you know, the trade with GP. We understood
Y'all did.
why. We understood why, right? But they never adequately replaced what they lost, right? And quite honestly, they actually regressed because DK ain't no GP. I'm going to say that again. DK ain't no GP. And that's even more frustrating. We regressed in the offensive room when we thought we were going to progress. You got studs at the line. You had what I and do you notice what the trend is this year? 13 personnel. What we talk about all summer, Dudek? 13 personnel. Man, if the Steelers can run 13 personnel, we will absolutely destroy the thing. Rams out here running 13 personnel out here destroying the whole NFL right now. It's frustrating because, again, it felt like they had the right tools, but then listen, 12 games is a lot. Like usually about 10 you get an understanding. 12, 12
scratching my damn shoulder.
12 games is telling you pretty much everything you have to know. The only thing that I have, the only saving grace, and that's only because GB the Uppity Enzer said that he was going to die on the Super Bowl hill. The only saving grace that GB has is this reminds me a little bit of 2005 when we was 7-5.
7-5.
And we had to win the last 4. And we were in shambles then, and they were killing Cower at the time. This sound familiar? Fire Cower. Fire, they wanted to fire everybody except for Ben because he was brand new. You know what I mean? But fire everybody. This ain't even working. How you go from 15-1 to the AFC Championship? You can't even get into the playoffs with this nice shiny toy you got here in the quarterback. Fire them all. That's it. It reminds me of that. The only difference is that we got this old dude. At QB1. That'd have been a great story like in 2006, but 2025 is a little different.
GB out there, he's out there like dying on that playoff field. He's like, he's got that wrestling thing where he put his arm up, it's dropping. He put the second arm dropping. He's like, is he gonna get up like, we're still going, we're still going. But listen, and I want to bring up Mike. Mike had a good comment here too. This is what I want to kind of get at here. Hold on. This webcam is killing me. You guys are going to see my notes here for a second. There it goes. I don't know why it keeps doing that. The predictability. And I believe that you're 100% right on that, Mike, because how many times do we run the ball on 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 15? I want to say darn near 75% of the time. And then they come back. It's either a deep shot or it is a screen, or in this case, they ran the ball on 3rd and 9 and got booed out the damn stadium. Like they're just giving up on that, especially when you're trying to sustain drives. The play sequencing, well, I was talking about this last week. The play sequencing with Arthur Smith has been shockingly bad. Very, very bad. And the lack of imagination with personnel groupings outside of a splash here and there, there was that play where they were coming down. They hit DK like on a little seam curl. Then they hit, Washington down the middle, on the seam route. You get splashes of that. The first play of the game was nice, a little rollout to hit the DK. But then they just go into this funk. And it seems like that I mean, every play that I saw, there was no deep safeties whatsoever. They're in that 13 personnel. They got everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and you're not going to call a go ball to DK. You're not going to call any type of even a seam to Jonnu, who could outrun some safeties. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to run it anyway. This is what we're going to do. One, what have you seen from like the play sequencing, the play calling on offense? I mean, when you're running 43 plays for a game, your defense is playing 2 extra games. You're not sustaining anything. What do you think the main issue of that is? Is it just simply the play calling? I know there's some execution issues. Again, there's a lot of collective issues. What's your take on this offensive play calling?
It's honestly, it's a little bit of everything. From the play calling side of things, it's everything seems like within, and from the passing game, is within 2 to 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. You're not testing teams downfield. I want to say I just heard a stat. I want to say like we haven't completed a ball like 20 yards down the field, like air yards down the field in like the last 4 games. I want to say it was.
Yep.
Like that's ridiculous for the bodies that we have. You know what I mean? Like we like that's insane. From an execution standpoint, it feels like there's a lot of negative plays surrounding Jonnu Smith. I don't know if anybody else has seen that. It's whether it's missing a block, whether it's running the wrong route, dropping the ball. It feels like there's more negative than positive.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't understand the value that he's bringing over Freiermuth at this point.
Yeah, I did see one, if you guys recall, and I was going to clip it, but I was doing some other stuff. There was a play where Rodgers missed DK coming across. They ran a mesh concept. Isn't that something?
Mesh, yep.
If Rodgers looked, Jonnu would have caught the ball on the run and probably gained 25, 30 yards.
Yeah.
And he threw it to DK. No, but what you
Jalen Moore running, they had Jalen Moore running the rail route, and he was open too.
And you know what you were speaking about, why I thought of that too, and I'm bringing it back up because I think of what you're saying too is his negative plays, the blocking issues, and like that. Is that causing Rodgers to like not want to go to him? Rodgers could be petty like that, right? And
I wouldn't even call that petty. It's trust. It's a lack of trust. Like if I throw you this ball, do I trust that you're actually going to make a play?
Accountability.
Yeah, 100%. Accountability. Correct. I still don't believe that you catch 88 balls for nearly 1,000 yards and all of a sudden you just can't play anymore. I get the offensive scheme because again, GP would have not done what he's doing in Dallas here, even with Metcalf here, but because he would have got the volume of targets, but he sure as hell would have made a difference though.
Yeah. Speaking of sequencing, do you realize I feel like it's been the last 2 months. The first play has been play action every single play on first down. Like it's play action every freaking time. Just sit and wait.
That's because they think they were going to run the ball all the time. So
tricking
them.
So they run it, and it could have been. It could be 100% of the games like have been play action on first down on the very first play of the game. It definitely could be that. I even told Braylon right before I was like, watch this first play gonna be play action. I said, I swear they've done this every single daggone game. And sure enough,
they're the only ones that would work 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 and play action will actually work because they ran the ball so much in these third and longs. I have a question for you guys, and Tyrone here brought this up because I've heard a lot of this, and I know it's a thing. I want your opinion on it. Now, it is up to 62 games. Okay. I caught shit on the Twitters for this, and I said, I don't see why this is such a big deal. It's the first quarter. Now, what I meant by that is, you finished the game. I'm not saying it's not an issue. I'm not saying it's something that's not worth bringing up and discussing.
Correct. Sure.
What are you guys' take on that weird record, if you will, or not record, but weird streak? 62 games they have not scored more than 7 points in the first quarter. Do you put a lot of weight behind that, or is that just people just looking for shit now because it's something else new about Tomlin's teams?
I need more context. Like, what's the league average?
Yeah, that I don't know.
If league average is 8, and we score 7, you know what I mean? Then
Yeah,
what do you do? Now if it's 20, all right, then there's a problem. So it's hard to, and I think that's we kind of get in that Steelers bubble and vacuum and look at everything through that lens and not understand that the rest of the league, a lot of these things that we're going through, the other teams is going through too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now I will say this: if those just one of those stats that I feel personally, that it's just like one of those evidence builders for the pro fire Tomlinites that've been trying to fire him since 2011. Okay, they gave him like 4 years, like a presidential term, and then it's like, all right, off with it. They've been wanting to get rid of him since Obama been in office. But I digress. But here's the interesting thing. I done forgot what I was going to say. Just that quick, Juan. I was going to say something, and it can't. Go ahead, do that. It'll come back.
So, you know what? While you guys are talking about it, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
The statsdon'tlie.com. Average scoring per quarter. First quarter. I have Arizona and Atlanta averaging 7.6 points. The Ravens are averaging 3.2 points. The Bills are 7 points. The Carolina Panthers are averaging 5.17 points. Chicago Bears are averaging 7.6 points, 5 points, 2.17, 4, 5, 5.83, 4, 3.6, 5.5, 3.8, 2.6, 3.1. The Rams are averaging 6.3. Now, granted, some of those they may have scored more than 7, but you're looking overall as a collective. No one's coming out of the gate averaging 10, 20, averaging more than 7.5 points a game.
Yeah. My point that I was going to make is a lot better stat. If we're going to look at some things, like if you really want to, and I'm a pro Tomlin dude, but if you really want to look at it from a grand scheme of things, let's look at the last 17 games. Let's look at that record. Anybody want to know what that record is? Anybody look?
Oh, that's bad.
6-11. Now that gives you a more evidence that something is not right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can talk about first quarter stats and everything, but I like to look at like games and results. In the last 17, we 6-11, bro. I just want y'all to let that one just. And when you multiply that by the fact that there hasn't been a playoff win in a decade, now you can start have some evidence to say, all right, maybe we do need to move on, not just because, he was a Rooney Rule coach and all that. No, let's have some real, tangible evidence. And that is tangible evidence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
Y'all been trying to find things. Y'all been trying to find ways to fire him since 2012, 2011. Hey, yeah.
Just by the way,
now it's starting to. Now you can start looking at it from a different lens. I feel as Steeler Nation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just as the point out here, Steelers are. I'm looking at this again. Fourth quarter average, Steelers are averaging 17.8 points in the fourth quarter. Want to be able to finish that. So I think the Steelers right now are averaging 3.7 points per game in the first quarter. I'm sorry. They're averaging 7 points in the fourth quarter. So I mean, listen, they're only averaging like 20. It's like they're even. They're 24-24 roughly, giving up the game, which is 6-6. They've scored 31 touchdowns. They've given up 31 touchdowns. 6-6, right? It's so. I understand that, and I there could be some game planning issues. I don't know. It seemed like it's a copy paste of the team comes out flat. The team comes out, they're not ready, they're not that. I mean, it's not that every single week. But again, I think you people are going to look to dogpile on that because of Tomlin's issues. And listen, I'm co-signing that there might need to be a change, and that's not going to change my opinion of what I think of Coach Tomlin, but it might be. And I think
Right.
GB, you brought this up a few weeks ago. You noticed this, and I think there was a report out there today that I think Tomlin just looks tired. I think
my
he's
butt is
just
weary.
Hey,
say my butt is weary.
My butt is weary.
I was rolling, showing my age, unshaven.
I really So I mean, there could be some truth to that, And listen, Josina Anderson, who's sometimes a good reporter, sometimes she's not. Let's just call what it is. She's putting out there that there is a long-time head coach somewhere.
Did you just say she's 6-6 as well?
She's more like 5-7. She's not even there. Her love affair with Shedeur Sanders is like a boy crush or something. I don't know. But she mentioned that there was a report that there was a long-time coach somewhere that would welcome a change. So obviously people are trying to connect the dots back to Mike Tomlin and I really think a trade of him is the only way that the Rooneys are going to get rid of him because the way that they hate paying coaches on the couch. I mean, it won't be the worst thing because here's what I want to say, and I'm going to get back to this year. And I said this last week, and maybe a couple weeks. So anybody who's been with us the last few weeks, this is going to sound a little bit repetitive, but if there's ever a time to move on, and you got the draft in your hometown, you do have a young quarterback on here. We'll see if Will Howard is really any of anything, but he's a young quarterback, and you got 12 picks coming up. And if you do trade Tomlin, you might be able to get another first or something for him because there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want him.
See, Dudek, I want to. You know what? Okay. I want to put some perspective here, okay? Because it's a lot of it's. Everybody talks about mediocrity, on the back end, and I get it. I understand.
Come on, dude.
Smoking the weed. Oh Lord. But here's the thing that that just absolutely fascinates me when it comes to the consistency. All right. How old were you in 2007? What was your life like in 2007? Mr. Wonderful, what was your life like in 2007? How old were your kids in 2007? Did you have 2 kids or 1 kid?
I just one at that point.
You had 1.
It's turning about a year. Yep.
And how old is your second child?
She is 14 right now.
How about them apples? The same with me. My child, I had 1 child as well, right? And now I have a second child since Tomlin been here. And he's a sophomore about to win his first state championship in football. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of stuff has gone on since this dude started. And I'm gonna leave it at this. You can tell how much age this dude has been. It's almost damn near almost a third of his life he's been with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But take a look at, and I put it on my story earlier today, take a look at the Unleash Hell clip and look at how young he looks in that picture. And that gives you all the perspective that you need. And I feel like it should give even more appreciation because he was a young pup when he was talking about Unleash Hell. He old dog now. He an unk. That's Unk Tomlin. You know what I mean? Like he's aged, decades, man. Like, so I digress.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to hold up. If I can just jump.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
The one thing I would say is, no matter how the season turns out, if we don't win another game, whatever, I still don't think that this is the year that Tomlin should have to go. Only because of this. What was our record in 2003? Anybody remember?
6-10.
6-10.
So if we would have fired Cowher, then he would have never got Ben, or had the opportunity to have a season with Pitt, and that's what changed his career. You know what I mean? Like Steelers have always drafted in the middle of the draft. They're a victim of their own success. Let's see if now if we can get some other players. If we're picking a little bit, let's see if he can do something. And if he can't, boom. Because I feel like at this point he's earned enough to at least give him that. Like you've never had a losing season in 18 years. That's crazy. So to say, all right, here's your first one. Up, gotta go, and not have a chance to rebound with talent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We've never really replenished.
I think I think that it would have to be something where it would be, and the only way that I think the Roonies would let it happen is if Tomlin himself said, "I'm too old for this shit." You know what I mean? I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with these gingers no more. You know what I mean? Trade me, get me the fuck out of here. You understand? Like it would have to be Tomlin before the end of the contract. I don't think it'll be Rooney's. Sorry. Y'all can bitch and complain all you want. I don't think it's gonna be the Rooney's. I think it'll be Mike that will say, or they'll say, look, we don't want to fire you behind closed doors. We don't want to fire you. You know, you can resign, or we're gonna trade you. We got a couple teams who would love to pick you up. It could be a win-win situation. You can go to here.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
they did
what
that
I
to Troy.
think will happen.
It's gonna get Bruce Arians.
Yeah,
They did that to Troy. And Juan, I don't think that, and I sure as hell hope not. I don't think if this was a losing season, that's the reason they would cut ties just because of a losing season. Because you're right, any coach that has done well, and listen, people can have their opinions and say, well, no playoff wins, it sucks. Four playoff wins, and like as far as seasons go out of the 18, I get that. But he has earned respect in a sense around the league because again, now I got one going down here. Because you could know his respect around the league because he would get picked up so quickly if he were to leave the Steelers.
right.
I think it's a collective issue of some of the performances. Listen, yesterday's game felt different. It was different, and I don't know how, and then people in the chat as well too. Was the boos as bad on television as they were in the stadium? Did you guys hear it or not?
No, well, yeah, kind of, but it's not.
I listened to the Steelers broadcast. I don't listen to the national, so from that it was loud on that, but from the TV, I couldn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Let me tell you something, because after they got stopped on that fourth down when they ran the ball with Gainwell, which it was
on
just
that fourth and two.
Oh, now 4th and 2. I'm like, first off, I mean, literally, if I had a football, I wanted to throw it at them on there. Then it went to TV timeout. The screen started going black, and the boos erupted. And when I tell you nobody was waving their towels during Renegade, maybe 40% of the fans were doing it. Jeez, I sat there, and I was in section 238, I believe, more, facing the city. I was like right in front of the club seats. I had really good seats to where I could see guys. Everybody was just sitting there just like this. And it was right as Renegade kicked in. And there's a couple people doing this. I think they probably had too many icy lights. I have never seen that before in my life. And I think we're going to see if this season continues to go south, and they don't make the playoffs. You're going to see, I think, what the Roonies really. I think the heat goes up on them because they have the draft here. We have the draft here in April.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot. There could be a potential lot of buzz to make people forget about all the crap in the last couple of years if a new coach is coming here, or there's some type of a conference where Tomlin sticks around, but there is a new OC and DC in here that do the Rooneys finally open up their pocketbooks and pay for legitimate coordinators? We don't know that struggle or that back and forth of, does Tomlin not want to hire certain coordinators, or are the Rooneys too cheap, or both? Right? We don't know that. And I'm telling you, the heat's going to only continue to turn up if they keep losing. And we're going to see how much the Rooneys listen to that, or if they're just tone deaf and they don't, because at some point you got to listen to your customers with this to a point. Don't fire Tomlin 2 years after he won the Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl. That's dumb. But I understand it. I understand it now.
And if they get to, 6, 7, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
No,
Don't do
God.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm muting you. I
was thinking about that too.
I'm
bro.
waiting to do that all day. I was thinking about that all daggone day. But they get to 6 and 7, man. Good Lord. Put the nets on the bottom of the bridge. Put them on the bottom of the bridge, man. They're gonna be jumping.
Maybe that should be their motivation. not to be 6 and 7, so we don't have kids. Foolishness. Like, you want to see this all week? Win on Sunday. Win on Sunday.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, well, real quick, G, before you do that, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. Is if Tomlin stays, because I think Tomlin would be say what you want about, he would be a perfect CEO type. Just he could handle the media, he could do all that stuff, and just let these coordinators do it. And if they get a young coordinator and they can develop a young quarterback and get that going, there's the hope. If not, maybe it has to be from the head coach. I'm not sure, but go ahead.
That's actually where I'm going with this. What's the buzz in Baltimore right now?
Come on, man.
What's the buzz in Baltimore right now? My man just said if you get a young quarterback here in Pittsburgh, you should at least get a chance. We said we should at least get a chance. Well, they've been had one. They got 2 franchise guys, and ain't really been too much of a difference. They done picked up one of the baddest running backs in the game, and they about to be 6, 7. I'm just saying. What's the buzz in Baltimore? Is it the same sentiment in Baltimore as it is in Pittsburgh right now? I got questions. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Tomlin has enough clout to demand a support from Rooney or go to a team that will give him the staff he needs. Yes, excuse. I don't know what you mean by that, Steelers freak. I mean, I'm not saying an excuse at all. I'm just saying there's a reason. I mean, the Rooneys, he has clout, but the Rooneys at the end of the day signed the check.
He don't got their checkbook.
Mike Tomlin doesn't have their checkbook. He may have the respect of that with Mr. Rooney. They may work hand in hand, but at the end of the day, he's only going to pay who he wants to pay.
He's still going to say,
go by,
this is how much you going to pay your OC. This is how much this is what's in the budget. Tomlin don't set the budget. He ain't the one holding the purse strings. Don't get it twisted.
When Charlie Batch comes on the airwaves and says they don't like paying coaches to sit on their couch, that doesn't tell you he doesn't got enough pull or not. So it's at the end of the day, it's the Rooneys, man.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the facilities alone, and that'll tell you all you need to know about. I mean, hell, at least the PNC Park is gorgeous. You know what I mean? the team might suck, but the park is 20 years later is still gorgeous, right? Heinz Field, it ain't Acrisure, it's Heinz. Heinz Field is one of the worst in the game, and it's never been anything great. Like, you remember remember at the beginning they had the open side, and it would screw up all the kickers, including our own. Or Chris Brown used to have the kicks; it would just shoot off in the wind. You know,
look like my golf shot.
Like, it felt like it was piss poor planning. You know what I mean? In the in the building of this thing, you know. But I felt like it was due to budget. You know, I think he was like, we going. I got the city's money, but I'm only gonna give
So
you a couple shekels of my own money so we can make this thing happen. And that's what you got, Heinz Field.
that's
Trash.
right. And here's also why I say that, and Steelers freak, to kind of go back to your point about who has Tomlin may have more clout with his individual ownership than other coaches have with their teams, but the Roonies do things their own way, called the Steelers way, right? And I went through this. I'm only going to go through this quickly because I did this a while ago, and this is just tells you the Steelers way. This is not changing or excusing anything that Tomlin has done or has not done. This is just the facts of what the Roonies do, and this is why I think you might want to say that Tomlin has enough pull to get his own staff, but does he? Right? Because Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin were essentially the same coach. But unfortunately, they just coach in different eras, right? Average offensive rank through 15 years. Again, I only did a 15 versus 15 years. So obviously Tomlin's may have dipped a little bit because some of the putrid offenses with Canada and such and Art Smith. They were average the 13th best offense in the league, extrapolated over a concurrent 15-year periods. Right around Cowher with 328 yards a game and Tomlin with 355. That's just the era of offense, and obviously Tomlin had been a little bit longer than Cowher did. Cowher's passing offense was 20th. Tomlin's was 11th. Quarterback plus the way the game was, because when Cowher had it, you more or less had a franchise running back versus a franchise quarterback. Cowher had the 7th best rushing attack in that's 15 years, where Tomlin had the 20th. Right. And then the scoring, they were both 13th in scoring. It's kind of the only thing different there is the Ben Roethlisberger effect and the different offenses. So you said here, my point is another team that wants Tomlin will pay for coaches he wants. Okay, the Steelers freak. If I misunderstood you, then I apologize. So yeah, you are right. Tomlin will get that respect in other franchises. You are correct on that one. So if I misunderstood your point, I apologize, man. Sorry. But going back to the Steelers' way, the defensive teams, Cowher was 6th, Tomlin was 8th, averaging. It's actually freaky how close these guys are. Average yards per game, Cowher gave up 288, Tomlin gave up 308. Passing defenses were 12th for Cowher, 10th for Tomlin. Rushing defense, 7th for Cowher, 9th for Tomlin. Scoring defenses were 7th for Cowher, 8th for Tomlin. This is the Steeler way. Cowher had a 623 winning percentage. At that time, Tomlin had 640, but he's down to about 623 as well, or 6. He's down a little bit. He's more along where Cowher was. Both won the Super Bowls, and then obviously Cowher has a little bit better of a playoff record with 4 more wins. None had last place finishes. Running the ball, just playing these close games. Both teams play close games. Both eras, we couldn't have nice things. We never had a blowout game. Both coaches lost to shitty teams. It's just this Steeler way that I agree with some of the comments here that something's got to change because the way the NFL is evolving. But my point is this is a Steeler way versus a Tomlin way. However, Tomlin's part of the problem, but he's not the only problem. That's been my point the whole time. And I think all the frustration you guys are venting is 100% warranted, and I get it. But it's deeper than just one man. But I understand, and I am not hating on anybody that says Tomlin needs to go because I get it. There's a lot of shit out there right now that points that something needs to change.
So, at the end of last year, we started to sprinkle in thoughts of
I agree, Mr. Tommy.
Maybe the game has passed Coach Tomlin. Maybe it's the concepts, the philosophy, all of the above, the offense, the way we run our offense. It could be a situation where it's just passed. Again, because he's been here since 2007. That's a long time. What was ball like in 2007? It was a little bit of a different game. You understand what I'm saying? And quite honestly, like his best times were in the 2000s. If you think about it, won Super Bowls, plural, right? He was the baddest defensive coordinator, right? And then he got his coaching gig, right? And then we went from there to 2010, where we ended up losing in the Super Bowl. Thanks, Brother Mendenhall and Ben for throwing a lot of picks and putting us behind. But that's neither here or there. But my point is that it could just be that it's just it's just time for a new era.
You're freezing there, buddy.
Including the coaches. I mean, including the owner. Maybe it's time for the next Rooney to step in with new, fresh ideas, and because there's the one thing about one generation to the next, there's a huge leap, man. And if you got some of these old fossils in here, we could really become the Dallas Cowboys real quick if we don't change.
Ooh.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And Steelers Freak, you're right. I mean, they potentially have figured it out.
They got lucky.
They were
the pet. No, they didn't. They didn't. They got the right quarterback at the right time. Kudos to them for getting it right.
Kudos for them.
A lot of quarterbacks is balling.
Oh wait, hold on.
And again, they haven't done anything in the playoffs yet because that's the important.
That's where I was about to go. Yeah, there's a lot of season left before we start making these type of.
Yeah. I mean, again, Steelers were at this position now, 10-3, where they're 10-2. Steelers were there before as well. And they're playing the Giants tonight. I'm sure they're going to get to 11-2. The Giants are trash.
I mean, we were just 9-3 just a year ago, and
9-3 and 10-3 a year ago too. So we were there last year. So let's just see. I'm not saying they haven't figured it out, and they haven't figured it out yet because they got lucky. Well, not lucky. They were fortunate enough to draft the right quarterback in their system. But again, quarterbacks need about 30 games to get a true evaluation, whether they start off great or they start off bad, because you have film on these quarterbacks and there's adjustments being made and things like that. I mean, look at some of these reclamation quarterbacks like Baker and Danny Dimes and Sam Darnold that had to go to another team, and now they're having chances. So picking quarterbacks at the top of the draft is not necessarily an easy thing to do. See Cleveland Browns until Joe Burrow, see Cincinnati Bengals, see New York Giants outside of Eli Manning, see Jacksonville Jaguars. We're still trying to figure it out. Could you imagine if we were given $255 million and our quarterback's playing like Trevor Lawrence?
And Blake Bortles actually statistically was actually playing better than
exactly. So, but I agree. I mean, the Patriots are building. Here's the thing, though: the Patriots figured out, but guess who beat the Patriots?
Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe they didn't figure it out.
In New England.
We're so terrible that we can't do anything, but yet we beat a team who's figured it out. It's week to week. So I get that. But New England's got a good team, man. I really hope that they don't figure it out. They've had enough success, damn it. But we'll see. What do you guys think the rest of this way, realistically, for these next 5 games? Can we get to 9 wins? So piss a lot of people off that he has a non-losing season again. I don't know if honestly, just the way they're playing now. I mean, it's going to have to be one of those. They go in and they do like a turnaround within the week and they come out, because listen, I've watched the Ravens. They're not the same Ravens.
No, not at all.
Cincinnati did them dirty last week, but we got 2 of them against the Ravens. So we got Ravens, Browns, and Dolphins. Could those be 3? Lions, forget it. Then you got the Ravens again. You know what, they're going to lose to the Ravens and Browns and Dolphins and beat the Lions because it makes no sense.
No, you know what? Nah. I think they're going to squeeze it out somehow. Like it's going to be the most improbable way. He's going to somehow, some way, just Because I think that's going to mean more to the players, that you don't want to be the one that gave it, been on that losing season too. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that there is some level of pride there that they're going to squeeze. Like I said, I have nothing else to base it on. It's just the dumb stuff that happens in Steelers history, that the games when we shouldn't do well and everybody writes them off, that's when they tend to excel. Like, they don't do well with accolades. So
yeah, so Mr. You think? What you guys think of this? This is interesting. Is maybe beating Dolphins? The players look like they're quiet quitting. I can't. I will. I'm gonna say this. I can see where Mr. Tummy's coming from with the evidence that's being shown on TV. However, I can't sit there and say that about a professional athlete, knowing that there's no quit within my old ass. I don't think with any of you two gentlemen either who have played. I can't imagine the upper echelon athlete and there's a lot of veterans in that room that they brought in, which is the reason we were so bullish on the Steelers to begin with at the beginning of the season, that they couldn't quit. I don't know. I couldn't see the captain quietly quitting. I understand Mr. Tummy's view of this. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? I mean, because again, the comments, Cam, getting kneed by Josh Allen. You got TJ's speaking out, things like that. I mean, I think it's the PQ is coming out with the damn schemes and all that is questioning and such.
There's 5 games left. Anything is possible. They can end up 11-6 or 6-11, and neither of which would surprise me at this point. Now, the fan in me wants to see us get into the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, and then have Coach T drop the mic and be off into the sunset. That would be the ultimate ending, especially how this season is unfolding. For him to find a way to turn that thing around and find his way back into the Super Bowl would be one of the most incredible stories in NFL history, I believe, especially when they were just screaming "Fire Tomlin" just 24 hours ago.
right.
So let me ask you guys this too, and Tyrone, you're 100% right. And GB and I have said this on the previous episodes. I know we has said this like in our chats as well. Just make the playoffs. You never know what can happen. A team can all of a sudden ignite, like the 05 Steelers, like the Gabe was talking about. Just get in. You never know what happens. It's like a brand new season, especially if it's going to be a home game with fans this time, not like the shenanigans that happened with the Browns, but
that part.
Right. I got a question because I didn't see these. And anybody in the chat here, these, and Mike, if you could comment on this, I thought after yesterday's game and after AR's comments that it seems like that locker room looks fractured. I don't know what Rooney's comments were.
I didn't see his comment either.
What were the comments?
If you could quickly, Mike, type in, or anybody type in what the comments were, because I didn't really see what his comments were. But I would be very curious.
I'm surprised he addressed did he address the game?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. And while we're waiting for that, and Mike, please do that. So I'm very, very curious. Rooney said that. Oh, I did hear about the receivers not being in meetings, and I thought somebody had brought up that Calvin Austin was one of those. I don't know if Rooney said that. Then that's not good.
He said insinuated. See, that's why I wanted to see what the actual statement was, because insinuated leads into interpretation.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. No, Rod. Oh, AR is in Aaron Rodgers. I got you. My apologies. Okay. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, I did.
Come on,
I did
man.
Come on, bro. ARs aren't Rooney, man.
Giving him
damn it, Mike.
Rooney initials, bro.
I was like, what did Rooney say?
What did Rooney say? It sounds like who's talking to Rooney?
I was saying
nobody talks to Rooney now.
After game 12, Rudy's gonna come out and say something. If Rudy's saying something at the game 12,
Yeah,
then
we in trouble. Yeah,
We in trouble.
trouble.
No, Mike, all good, buddy. I'm like, when did Art Rooney turn into like Jerry Jones? Like, what in the hell? Mike, you had me there for a minute, Mike. Man, you had me.
Yeah, I was
Dude,
like,
that was too
Rudy.
funny.
Yeah, you are 100% right. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers insinuated that all the receivers weren't there. He said it was a bad practice.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he said it was a bad
All
practice.
right.
He also
All right,
mentioned about Jonnu not being on the same page with a couple read option routes and such. So, yeah, you are correct. I remember that too. So, Mark, what is this? Yeah, Sunday looked different. Bills ran the same play over and over again. Called it the Lev Bell revenge game.
Damn.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Yeah, well, damn. I remember that snow game.
Damn.
Yeah, Adam, I think you are correct. I think some of these guys. Here's the only it's a reason. It's not an excuse because again, this is their job. They're into it. These dudes went from Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson to somebody with the intelligence of Aaron Rodgers. Did you guys see? If you remember the Chicago game, right before they ran that play where Mason scrambled, but they called it back because the Wilson and it was Gainwell and Austin were off the line. It was a legal formation.
Yes.
They cut and they showed it right before the snap. Rodgers is doing one of these, and you could read his lips. It goes, "They're in the wrong formation."
That is unbelievable to me.
It's not, did he catch this thing like that? And that's what Aaron Rodgers gets over a Jag like Mason Rudolph, and Jag is just a guy like Mason Rudolph out there because even Potter called a timeout or something. I was surprised Rodgers didn't run around and yell for them to call a timeout or something. But Rodgers sees the game so different than the quarterbacks that these dudes were used to playing with. Yeah, let's face it, Russell Wilson was never known as a cerebral guy like Rodgers was and is.
I find it amazing that we're in week 12 or game 12 and we still can't, or game 11, we still can't line up in the right formation. Like that's right. Mind-boggling to me as a professional.
On both sides of the football.
Because I can tell you as a legendary youth coach and junior high coach, I can tell you one thing: if after game 2 we in the wrong formations, there gonna be some consequences and repercussions. That's for sure. I don't know that's crazy, dude. That's insane to me. Like not lined up on the ball, off the ball, and you can't figure that out yet. You in your 20s and you get paid to do that. That is crazy. That's crazy talk.
Mr. Tummy, that's a T-shirt, bro. Mid-tier players win mid-tier prizes.
Yeah.
I like that, and you are definitely right there.
That's crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you know what? That goes back to the preparation, whether it's the coaching and the players going the extra mile and doing the extra studying, making sure they're professionals too. There was a great coach that everybody here remembers, Chuck Noll. One of his favorite quotes that I loved when I heard from him, he's like, if I have to motivate you, I probably should cut you.
Yeah.
Right? But yet Tomlin has to motivate the players or else he's a bad coach. Listen, I'm not defending Tomlin at all, guys. Don't jump on me for this, but I'm just saying Chuck Noll said that back in the 70s. If I have to motivate you, I should cut you. These are professional athletes. They got to motivate themselves. And with what Aaron Rodgers was saying about Calvin Austin and possibly others, I mean, listen, you can't cut these dudes midseason and stuff, too. But I'm just saying that's an issue. And maybe they came with the big names, but did not come with the big work ethic. And we're not in the building. We don't know what goes on in practice. We don't know if it's a loosey-goosey practice. We don't know if it's hard and strenuous practice. We don't know. But these players got to have some self-accountability as well, too, along with the coaching staff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you invested a ton of money, and I will call out the defense for what it's doing. You invested a lot of money in that defense. I called them hired mercenaries, and I'm gonna call TJ Watt to task again, right? Because he And I'll die on the hill that I felt like that was a mistake that they signed him for all that money because I felt like they would sign him for past performance, and unfortunately, it's appearing that that's the case. You know, in these situations, let's make this clear, fans on the YouTubes, we want to be wrong on our predictions. Like, we don't get our rocks off and being right about this shit, especially when it's bad shit like this. Does that make sense? Like, none of us should be excited that Mike Tomlin is failing right now. Does that make sense? Like, you should not be getting your rocks off because you wanted to fire Tomlin so daggone bad that now that's not a fan. That's a hater. That's a hater. Okay?
100%.
I'm off my soapbox, but you get what I'm saying, though. Like, we don't.
We've said this many times, GB. We've said this many times, and I'll say this and want to weigh in on this too. It's like, I do think there is a pocket of fans out there that would rather lose with Tomlin, so they say that they were right, than win with them and get another championship for their favorite team.
That's so mental.
So, actually, I got a counterpoint for something that GB just said. With your issues with the defense and how much they're getting paid, I would counter argue that they're underpaid right now because they're playing essentially 2 extra games at this point already.
you said they got them salaries because they knew the workload was going to be incredible.
They're back there like the Chappelle guy. Like, can I get another one of them game checks since we played another 150 plays?
Like we really on paper is 17 games, but the way our offense is set up, it's going to be like 19.45 games. So we're going to pay you as such.
Defense out here playing 23 games.
We're going to pay you accordingly. We're going to pay you for your time.
Touche, Juan. Touche, brother.
Very well. Very well played.
I'm going to renegotiate my contract. I want to be paid per play.
Every defensive dude is going to want to play for the Steelers because they know that offense is only going to be on the field for 33 to 36 minutes a game.
So, in all honesty, then, you know, the TJ and everybody and Herbig should all have like 30 sacks.
I mean, for real,
right?
You know,
that even exacerbates the lack of production. When you're putting in more time and less production. And poor man, God bless Peyton Wilson's ass out here just tackling everything, whether it's a gain of 1 or a gain of 7, because the outside linebacker was nowhere to be found. When they bounced to the outside, he out here cleaning everything up. Man, God bless that man. I think I seen yesterday he had 14 tackles, and I was like, God, dog. A lot of them I remember was like, 7 yards, 8 yards down the field because he was just trying to chase down because 2 people weren't doing their job. Like, he cleans up a whole lot of mess.
He does.
People don't even realize that, but he cleans up a lot. God bless that man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? No ACLs.
Yeah.
Right.
Out here playing like Hines Ward and such too. Let me ask you, I do want to give you guys there's a little bit of a bright spot. And I watched him when he went in the game on every defensive snap. And I don't know if you guys were watching him on the TV, but shout out to Asante Samuel.
Yeah.
Jr. Actually played very well for getting his first action after 19 months out of the game. Getting back up to speed, getting, put on the spot with whenever Pierre went out. We don't know what next year will bring, especially if there is a new coaching staff here next year with Asante Samuel. But I'm going to tell you something. And I think Porter's playing a little bit better, although he has his moments. He's still habeas corpus, but I just believe that's part of his game. If you could put Asante Samuel and Joey Porter, and then you'd have a couple more years of Ramsey as safety, and then you bring back Elliott, I think Duggar is not going to be here just because Elliott comes back unless he doesn't come back well with his injury. That's a pretty solid starting 4 in the secondary that you can continue to build around no matter who is here. But Sean, what did you guys think about Asante Samuel Jr.? Again, I got to give him his props. I got to have some positive from yesterday, and I thought he played very well.
Yeah, for first game back, And considering the injury, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
you know, if I had back surgery and then had to run and make tackles in the NFL, like I would, yeah, there would be some trepidation there. So for him to come back and kind of get his feet wet, and it wasn't a bad showing, especially like I said, considering the circumstances, and not even being really knowing that the game plan is you're going to come in for these different plays and series. That wasn't even that. That's not even how he probably prepared this week. It was, all right, he's down here, get in. You were probably playing the other teams.
Yep. No, I thought he played relatively well too. So, Ember just need MVS to hop on. I think his Uber got lost in the way to the train station. I agree, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Why we signed Valdez Scantling and he just doesn't play? It's just another one of these personnel questions that I don't know what the hell they're doing.
If he knows the playbook worse than Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson at this point, then what are we doing? Like what are we doing? Like,
how many people do we need to run off the defense to dish it out to the running back?
I mean,
yeah.
MVS
is probably like, I ain't doing that shit.
Right.
Y'all gonna do it. Yeah, Mark, I agree. Eccles has been very solid. I hope they could bring him back as a nickel. I like him a lot. He would be my top nickel corner guy. Yeah. Because again, if I said those four, then if you throw Eccles, in the nickel, I think that's solid. Yeah, he's been playing very, very good.
Yeah, I agree.
Very, very good. Yeah, and you're right, Mr. Tum. Yeah, secondaries kept the Bills. Listen, there weren't a lot of plays where the players were open. I mean, I know they only threw the ball, I think, 23 or 24 times, but they were playing well. You know what? Maybe Pierre is on his way up as well too. I mean, there's a time where some of you just get it, and maybe he continues to progress. So the cupboard's not bare, but there's just a lot of shit going on, and I don't know what's going on with this. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Because I said I just don't know what the hell to even try to predict. I know we'll come back on here on Thursday or such. We'll have some other people on here, maybe get some prediction time stuff. But I don't know. I don't know.
I can tell you one thing. Admore Lopes winning his PIAA chip on Saturday. That's what I'm gonna tell. I know one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Admore Lopes coming home with this hardware. It ain't gonna be no number 2. Ain't gonna be no second place this year. Northwest Lehigh on the clock, and it might shoot. The way that this team been playing all year, this might just finish perfectly ugly and boring. That's what I hope for. Let it be boring. Let us just whoop ass like the Bears versus the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like, and call it and call it. You know what I mean? And just be done off the wrestling season.
Yeah, you're right there, bro. Yeah, listen, we've all three of us and other of our people here. We've liked Corey Trice for a while, but unfortunately, he has no availability, and it's hurting him. He's done here. Unfortunately, he's done.
Stinks.
Is what it is. But let's see here. Adam coming in here. If Harmon comes back, then the run game will be better. Henry isn't athletic as Cook, but yeah. And listen, Henry actually definitely looked a step slower. There is no doubt. But again, the Bills missed both their starting tackles and their center went down, and they still ran all over them. It's week to week. Mark was saying this in the chat. We've all said NFL is week to week, as any high level football is. So we'll see. So what's up, Yunzu? You're all coming back in. See, other than the outside linebacker, what position has this coaching staff shown they can develop? We have extra picks next year, but who is the last third round or lower that they have coached into a difference maker? Antonio Brown.
Pick a receiver.
Yeah, Antonio Brown. I mean, that comes out right there. He's one of the best ever. What, Yunzer, that's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I can go back and look.
What's that?
He came up and said, we have extra draft picks, but who was the last third rounder or lower that this team has developed? You can actually still see it on the chat there in the screen. Um,
Oh, I couldn't see it. That's why I
let
wasn't
me see
sure.
this real quick. So that's a good question before we wrap up here. Let's see. Steelers draft
Yeah, 'cause
history.
we had what? The Marvin Leal. Yeah.
Spencer Anderson. Yeah, Spencer Anderson.
Well, yeah, he
Let's
was
see.
seventh rounder. He was seventh round pick.
Nick Herbig's a 4th rounder.
Herbig. I was gonna say Herbig's a 4th round pick. James Conner was a 4th round pick. He's still in the league.
Kelvin
too, isn't
Austin. Okay, yeah. Dan Moore was a 4th round pick. I mean, he got an $80 million contract.
he? Yeah.
Kevin Dotson, he got a big contract just elsewhere.
That's the really the one that really hurts because they really did develop him and then
Yeah.
shipped him, which was crazy.
Um,
Crazy talk.
Isaiah Buggs was okay. He was a 6th rounder in 2019.
How about Jalen Warren, undrafted?
Jalen Warren, undrafted, right?
Undrafted.
Somebody in this,
Hargraves was a 3rd rounder.
Hargraves was he was really good. Really.
Jesse
really good.
James is a 5th rounder.
he caught that ball.
Damn right.
He did
caught
catch that ball. Was it? Yenzerel, you're right. Dotson definitely better when he left. He went to the other side of the guard. Now he's an All-Pro.
Literally
100% correct on that one.
Literally went to the other
Yep.
side of the. Damn it, James Daniels.
Yeah, God damn you. So I mean, listen, there have been players they have developed, and of course there have been misses as well, like every other
Sure.
team. But your point's taken, Yenzerel, y'all too, because I want to say. In the NFL, I think it's 31% of the NFL rosters are made up by undrafted free agents. So there's not, and I would be curious to actually go back and see what I don't have time to do this type of research. I'd go back and see like how many other teams have done that. Maybe I'll go back and look at this. Maybe look at maybe the AFC North or just the AFC.
Yeah.
For Yinzer y'all's question, because it's an interesting question to look at. About development, because
Now,
again, you also look at development plus free agent signings too. But go ahead.
I think we can all agree with that. There have been players that teams from the AFC North have drafted that we wanted to draft. I can say that. That's a fair. There's definitely been some picks you was just like, crevices. You know what I mean? Like you just mad because, and for good reason. You know, Kyle Hamilton, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and again,
we took
I
Terrell.
didn't realize Highsmith was a 3rd rounder too, but that's because he was the 2nd pick because that was the 1st round pick. But
we took Terrell Edmonds when we could have taken Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, well,
just want to throw that out.
We'd have a 2-time MVP with no Super Bowl, so. Yeah.
And then then they sold us a bill of goods and said, well, we're gonna get this dude in the 3rd round named Mason Rudolph. He had a 1st round grade. That's crazy.
Kevin Colbert had a 1st round grade on him.
You think about that, like you think about the logic behind that now, it's so crazy. Because you could have probably got Terrell Edmonds in the 3rd round, and you could have still got James Washington in the 2nd round, and you just had your quarterback, and we probably still wouldn't have had no playoff wins because he ain't doing it in Baltimore either. So we still would have been mad. So figure that one out.
Yo, hold on now.
Uh-oh.
Mason Rudolph threw in a triple coverage.
Hey, bro.
And overthrew a dude who's 6'7".
6'7". 6'7".
Don't do it. I'm glad you froze. Oh, you're not frozen anymore. Come on, bro. Hey.
All right, sorry, man.
No, he did. When he threw that
mentioned
ball
Mason,
too,
that just hit me, man. It just brought it all back. It brought it all back.
Mason Rudolph. That's what I said. They try to sell us on that bullshit. Mason Rudolph's had a 1st round grade. The hell he did.
The hell he didn't.
He had a 1st round grade because the only film they watched was when Oklahoma State played Pitt, and that was the only one. That's the only game they probably watched.
When he lit them up.
Torched them. He and James Washington torched them. You know, and then it was like, we're gonna take him. Yeah,
we've seen enough.
Man.
All right. Hey, listen, we've been going here for about an hour and 20. Colbert thought highly of Pickett as well, too. His view of quarterbacks went downhill quick. Listen, guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out here. Look, we've been here got an hour and 20. We want to get out of here. But for everybody in the chat and everybody who's going to watch us on the playback on the YouTubes as well, too, it does suck right now. You know, the Steelers are not doing well. There's a lot to be upset about, and it's 100% justified, and we get it. Go ahead and vent. Get your poison out, if you will, throughout the week. But when it comes to Sunday, man, put their black and gold back on, and this is your squad. You could be mad at them. You can want Tomlin fired, and I get it. But man, let's just root like crazy for these next 5 games. Let's see what happens. And like a lot of us have saying too, man, just get in, and we'll see what happens. It doesn't look good right now, but man, just get in, and you never know. What the hell happens too. And you're right, Mark. Actually, I don't even think it doesn't even feel like we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. But it's great when everybody's here contributing, everyone's coming into the comments. Man, this makes it a blast for us. And it's I can't wait to continue to do more with everybody here. But Mr. Wonderful, where can people find you on all your socials and keep interacting with you throughout the week?
Basically, you can find me on X at Ball Thunder. I forgot I am on Instagram. I don't do much on Instagram, but you can hit me up on there as well. It's at Ball Thunder as well.
GB, what about yours, sir? Where can people find you?
Man, you can find me on YouTube at your_boy_GB or GB the Upper the Enzer on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And embrace the suck, man. Embrace the suck.
Go ahead, Tyrone, man. Go get yourself another chat, man. Mention the Burgh Cave, how much fun you're having, man. Tyrone, you were really good in the chat tonight, man. We appreciate you, sir. Hope that you stopped back.
Better call Tyrone. Call him. Tell him
we're getting serenaded on their way out.
Get your shit.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you coming back.
Every time he said Tyrone, that was in my head every time. You said his name like 4 or 5 times, man. Every time. Every time that was looped in my head, bro. Oh my goodness. His coach used to use that.
Use that so much. There we go.
So how many people have actually called you to help them move? That's the question.
Oh man, guys, this is too good, man. But hey, listen, appreciate everybody tuning in. Man, listen, you can find me on the Burgh Cave Twitter handle, X handle. Obviously, you're here at the YouTube channel watching. Please like and subscribe to this, share this show. As we say, don't be a hoe, share the show. And, keep coming back in, help our channel grow, man. Like I said, just comment below. Other than the chat, comment, share the show throughout your socials. If you guys like hanging with us, man. And we really appreciate everybody. And we will see everyone back here Thursday night. And we'll have some special guests coming on with us from some different perspectives. And just to let you know, on Thursday, if you're a follower of the college football, we got some coaching updates coming. I think we have some things happening outside of Lane Kiffin. But our buddy JJ Kitchen's going to come back. He's going to share some Pitt news and some other coaching news that he's been getting the inside scoop on. So it'll be a fun show on Thursday. We'll see everybody then. Take care. We'll see you all in the next one.
All right.